Hey guys, how are you? Sorry, the camera was rocking there for a second, but I think we're good now. I'm down here on the floor again. I'm going to do a little tarot reading. This is going to be the election prediction follow-up reading. I did one last week, and I'm not sure if you watched it or not, but if you didn't, please check it out. And if you're here because you want to see more, then I'm glad you're here with me. Now, I'm going to do a Celtic cross spread, which is different than what I did last time. And I'm going to, the Celtic cross, if you're not familiar, it's, let's see, 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, it's like 10 cards total. And sorry, I needed to count them all in my head apparently. 10 cards total here, and I will kind of explain what each card means as I go through it. All right, I think I have enough room here. Oh, and let me light my little candle, you guys. Maybe I won't. Oh, here we go. Fire. Okay. This is going to be the Election Prediction Tarot, the Celtic Cross Tarot spread. Let's see what's going on. Then that card wanted to come flying out. I'm going to put that back in there. I'm going to pick from the top, and I'm going to need 10 cards, all right? So let's see where we're at. I'm going to need 10 cards. Here we go. Okay. In the middle, we have the Page of Swords. The crossing energy is the Two of Cups. In the past, we have the Hermit. In in the area of our unconscious, we have the Hermit, the things we're not aware of. In the past, we have the High Priestess. In the present situation, or kind of maybe the things that we're aware of, we have the King of Wands. I'm going to move these over here a little bit. In the future, we have the Tower. This position here represents kind of, I'm going to say it's the way the country feels right now, what the country is looking for, right? And this next card is going to be what the world is looking for, right? It represents everybody else, all the other parts of the world, the other countries, the other people. And then this card, it represents the hopes and fears, the next one. And then the last card is the outcome, which is the Chariot. So let me now explain this. So to start the reading, we have the Page of Swords. And this is the energy of the current situation. And the Page of Swords, it can be someone young, or it can represent like a new idea, a new way of communicating things, but something definitely that's not totally set into reality yet. The Knight is the one that really has the passion and the power to move forward, which is the card after this. But the Page is still very unsure. And I feel like maybe this card represents we have no idea what's going to happen, and truly. And I think that that's what this page represents, is we just don't really know. And in the crossing energy, which is kind of like the challenging energy, we have the Two of Cups. And the Two of Cups, I think, represents the melding of two parts. Democrats, Republicans, for instance, it could represent that. The fact that we need to come together and see that we are complements of each other. In a relationship, we can be complements. And as a government, the Republicans and the Democrats can complement each other. But they're not doing that now. So, and they're not working together. So that's not good energy, right? That's challenging energy. Now I'm going to go to the position on the bottom here. And this represents the things that we're unaware of, the things that we don't see coming, the things that we can't predict, right? And these represents things that come from our unconscious, or in this case, the collective unconscious, right? And in here we have the Hermit. And the Hermit, this could represent the fact that a lot of us are trying to be very introspective. And this is Virgo's card, and what this really stands for, I think, here is our want and our desire to go deep and to see the real truth here, and to see our real truth. And what is the USA's real truth? And I think do any of us really know? What I think is true is, this country is really great, and we have so many great people here, and we have such a diverse group of people, and that is really important, and that's what sets us apart from a lot of other places in this world. But I think what the Hermit here is saying and describing is a situation where we need to go into ourselves and into the collective unconscious to see what's true and what's not true for our country. And there's a lot of misinformation out there, so we have to go inside in order to see what's true or not for us. And I think that's true for the collective as well. Now I'm going to go up to the top now, because this is what we are aware of, and this is the King of Fire, the King of Wands, right? And this is very very fiery energy, obviously, very committed, entrepreneurial, knows where they're going, knows how to lead, knows how to talk to people. And I think maybe this, I'm wondering what this represents actually. I'm not seeing a clear image here or idea, but I'm kind of thinking like, this could mean in the negative sense, like overconfidence. I think we're all overconfident about something. And in this election, I think we could be, if we're a Republican, we could be overconfident that the Republicans could win. And if we're a Democrat, we could feel overconfident that the Democrats could win. And whenever we're like overconfident or over prideful or egotistical, for instance, that's going to affect the outcome. And it's not going to be pretty, right? So this is energy that I think is actually really challenging for us right now, because it gives us a false sense of reality and a false sense of security. Now, in the past, which is what the High Priestess represents in this position, this is a card associated with the moon, and it's a card, here, I'm going to show you, you can see the moon there, but this is the card of our unconscious, right? The Magician represents our ego, the conscious parts of ourselves, and the High Priestess represents things that are hidden. So this energy here, I'm almost getting like this something is being hidden from us vibe here. And I don't know what that is, because if I knew, I would tell you. But I don't feel like we have in the past, and even right now, really understand what's going on in our government and in our political system. And I think that if I look at the next card here, that this is going to cause some problems, because the next card in the future, we have the Tower. Now the Tower represents something crumbling, something, a system in place that has worked and has been something that we have relied upon. Well, this Tower was built on false beliefs and ideas, and the problem is that the Tower has to fall down in order for something new to be built on top of it. And this, I think, is like the collective energy around politics and the system in place, and how it's just not really serving us anymore. There's many great things about this country, but the political part of it, the party system, the way that we go about elections, that probably needs to crumble and start over again. And so that's what this card, I think, is all about. Now, the staff here, this is called the staff. There's everything on the side here. And in this first card represents the things that our country is aware of. Now, normally in this position, if it's a personal reading, right, this card's going to represent the energy that we're bringing to the table. This is the energy that I believe the whole country is bringing to the table, or wanting to bring to the table. And that is a new way of doing things, a way of doing things that's in alignment with where we are as a society today. And I think that's really important to remember and really important to emphasize, because we are a country founded on amazing values, right? But they're old. They're just a little old, and they need to be revamped, and that's okay. Things need to change, right? And you need to start over sometimes. And I think that's something on both sides that we're aware of. I think the tactics are different, but I think that we're both, on both sides, we're aware of this problem and this desire. Now, this next position, which is the Three of Cups, represents in a normal personal reading, right? It represents what other people are bringing to the table, your things that are outside of you, the external things. And so what's external to the US is all the other countries involved, the rest of the world, right? And the rest of the world wants to celebrate with us, because what happens in the US usually can happen in other countries, right? Like we're the leader of the world, basically. And the rest of the world really wants to celebrate with us. But how are we gonna do that, right? There's so much division. How are we gonna all celebrate together? That's a tough one, right? Now, the next card here represents the hopes and fears, right? And the way I like to think about it is, if you had a coin, fear would be on one side and hope would be on the other. Because they're literally like, they're like the opposite, right? So in that position, in the hopes and fears, is the Palace of Coins. Now, this is a card that's specific to this deck, the Tarot of Dreams. But what this means is it represents a beautiful material. So coins, right? Let me start over. Coins represent the material world. Coins also stand for pentacles, right? If this card stands for the material world, this represents a very fertile, abundant, beautiful place to be, right? It's just green and lush, and there's mountains, and it means just pure bliss, I think, and abundance. And it's like, it represents nature and being in balance with nature. And I think that we all fear that we're not in balance, but we hope that we are. And something that I learned recently, or that I've been thinking about recently, is is the world out of balance, like what that topic means. And I would say that the world's always in balance, right? But there's going to be ebbs and flows to that balance. It's going to go there could be a period of chaos, right? But that chaos is necessary for the balance. So we all desire to treat the world properly. I believe inside we all really desire that. And I think we all want the US to be a beautiful place. And this election is going to have a big effect on our country. So something to keep in mind, that we all want the same thing. Now, in the outcome, we have the Chariot. This is Cancer's card here. And, I want you to look at it. It's the card of, I always say this, but it's a card of passion and purpose. Purpose coming from a very passionate place. And you'll see here, I want to get really close. This guy, he has reins on these horses, but they don't look real almost. They look like he's kind of more, in the traditional Chariot card, there's nothing connecting the Sphinxes, which is the normal thing that appears in this card, and the rider. And in this particular card, you can see a little bit, there's something there, but I really feel like this represents trusting. And I think that maybe we're going to be entering a period where, we have to trust. And that's a tough thing. But our votes are the one thing that we can, it's the one way we can influence our country, all of us across the board, but you have to vote. And so this represents some speed, and it represents going in a direction of that the universe has laid out for you. And you're just in a surrendering, letting go kind of place. And I think that's what we all kind of need to do is remember that we're all headed somewhere, right? And if we remain in a very focused, pure place, free of judgment, then our direction is going to be very clear to us. And I think that, the direction of this country is important to all of us. And I think if the direction of this country, which is a product of the electoral system, our ability to vote, right? If we all vote If every single one of us votes, then I think we'll get the outcome we deserve. So go vote, people. Please, I'm begging you. Anyway, interesting reading. I hope you got something out of it. Tomorrow's a big day. Please, please, please go vote. I'm going to say it again. Vote, vote, vote. And I really appreciate you taking time to watch this. Bye, everybody.